Are you tired of hearing that you can get 4 free stocks with Webull? Well, fear not. You can now get $30 totally for free with M1 Finance when you deposit $100. That's a 30% return on your money for doing next to nothing. Check it out via the link down below or going to metkevin.com/M1. Hey everyone, me Kevin here. This is my reaction to Nio Day. Let's just say I have been waiting for this day. I am a Nio bull and I have over 8,000 shares of Nio and I love my Nio position. I have over $500,000 invested with Nio over my call options and my shares. And folks, this is the day I've been waiting for. Let's talk. First, a 150 kilowatt hour solid state battery launching in Q4 2022. Folks, this sounds like phenomenal news. QuantumScape, after all, went viral after they announced they had a solid-state battery and solid-state battery technology that could be ready to deploy in 2024. Solid-state batteries, after all, are seen as more efficient, and they're considered the next big thing in batteries. When QuantumScape announced their technology, it was seen as a breakthrough. Yet the problem with QuantumScape is their battery is just a lab battery. It doesn't really exist in a commercially functional form yet. It's kind of like a nano dimension. Brilliant, genius research project with massive potential, but few or limited commercially viable products. Great for research, not there yet with commercially viable products, which that's where the money is. Anyway, Nio seems to have aptly picked up on the fact that there is a lot of buzz around solid-state batteries, and rightfully so. That is the next big thing. And Nio yesterday, or I guess today, announced a 150 kilowatt hour solid state battery with a 50% increase in energy density capable of over 620 miles of range in the same form factor of existing battery packs, which is crucial for Nio's battery swapping system. Basically, people who already own Nio cars are able to benefit from 2 to 3xing their range by upgrading to this battery via a swap, something you would have to buy a completely new Tesla for to achieve. This is very exciting. However, as a Nio investor with exactly 8,782 shares and dozens of call options, I'm a little bit concerned. Based on Nio's annual SEC report, their annual filing, Nio does not define their company as a company that makes battery technology. They define themselves as a drivetrain and electric propulsion manufacturing company and a battery management designing company, like making the software that manages the battery. But they do not define themselves as a battery manufacturer. And that's okay, they don't have to define themselves as that. In fact, at a specific portion of their annual report, they state that they partner with CATL, the largest battery manufacturer in China, for their battery manufacturing needs. In fact, they list it as one of their risk factors. Hey, if we can't get enough batteries, well, we might not be able to produce our vehicles. Now, I mean, this doesn't mean that Nio doesn't have battery experts or researchers or engineers at Nio, and it doesn't mean that Nio can't file battery patents. But it does mean that Nio is probably not going to be producing this 150 kilowatt hour solid state battery pack. Instead, it's probably going to be CATL. But who cares, right? I mean, Nio's telling us the 150 kilowatt hour battery pack with solid state technology is on its way. Well, as a Nio investor, I care. Because guess who else uses CATL? Hyundai, Mercedes, BMW, and Tesla. In fact, Tesla battery engineers have even partnered with CATL to specifically advance battery technology in their own partnership agreements with CATL in China. When I watched Nio's presentation, I also noticed that they were really clever in their wording. And I don't know if this is something that just got lost in translation because the speaker was obviously speaking in Mandarin. I think it was Mandarin. I don't know. I just don't speak Mandarin. I'm guessing he was speaking in Mandarin. And the little transcript at the bottom was obviously translated by sometimes things get lost in translation. But at the bottom, they said, quote, "We adopt the most advanced production-ready solid-state battery technology." Notice they didn't say we engineered, we created. No, we adopt. Here, I'll save you the effort of going to that portion of the presentation. Here it is. Oh wait, I gotta hide myself. Solid-state battery. We adopt the most advanced production-ready solid-state battery technology. Okay. So what does adopt mean That got me thinking a little bit, and so I thought, all right, well, usually adopt means you didn't make it, you're just partnering with somebody to make it. Makes sense. But I wanted to double check my suspicion. So I did a quick little Google about Apple adopting technology, and I kind of confirmed my suspicion when these tech companies say they adopt something. Some Taiwanese channel vendors believe if Apple adopts the new Intel platform in its iPhone, okay, all right, then we've got Intel's most recent efforts to gain relevance in mobile broadband chips gained a temporary win after Apple adopted its modems for iPhones. The adoption of Intel processors allowed Macs to more easily run Windows. So it seems to me that adopt is a fancy way of saying, hey, look, partnering with CATL, we're going to have some solid-state batteries coming. Now, again, that is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does lead to some concerns for me. The biggest concern I have is the availability of this. Right now, they're suggesting that this battery will not come out until the end of 2022, but they're also not in control of this production pipeline. So this also means not only do they not know if that target is realistic, hopefully it is, let's assume it is, but it also likely means that other manufacturers are going to try to get their hands in the cookie jar and have access to these batteries. After all, we know that Tesla is already producing insanely powerful batteries, but ramping up their new battery technology at their CATL factory is extremely difficult, and it's going to take years based on Elon Musk's expectations. So let me translate Nio's big announcement here, because when we look at Tesla, we know it's going to take them years to ramp. They've got new technology coming, but they're probably also going to get their hands in the cookie jar of this CATL technology. So again, let's translate Nio's big announcement here. Hey guys, we are going to buy these really cool solid-state batteries when they come out, but if they sell out, don't worry, we will be on the waiting list. Honestly, as a Nio investor, I'm a little bit bummed by this. Again, I'm a Nio bull, okay? Y'all know me. I'm a Nio bull. I've been bullish on Nio. I got over $500,000 invested in the company, and that's not me trying to like pat myself on the back, oh, look at me, I got $500,000. Whatever. The point is just to try to minimize, because I'm not going to prevent the amount of people go, oh, you're just hating on Nio Stock. Okay, just hate on Nio Stock. Why don't you just sell it? And then they click out and leave. Like, your loss, I guess. But folks, this announcement fell a little flat for me. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I mean, I'm just making these critical observations. And these are the things that I teach you how to do in my courses on building your wealth, whether it's real estate or stocks. It's all about critical observations. These are things I really like to pay attention to. Now, Nio also announced the integration of a LiDAR device into their new ET7, which I'll talk about in a moment. This, I have to say, I was thoroughly impressed with. I want you to take a look at a picture of this. And maybe if you've seen some of my microvision videos, I want you to consider what your first reaction is to this, okay? This is Nio's ultra long range, high resolution LiDAR. It's right here. This is at the top of the vehicle. It's pretty good looking, actually. Given that LiDAR is usually bulbous and ugly, that's pretty dang good looking. And if you recall my microvision videos, you'll recall that when I talk about microvision, I applaud microvision for having a LiDAR system, or at least patents and designs for a LiDAR system, that only focuses on what's in front of the vehicle. See, I have frequently questioned why it's necessary to use LiDAR to scan all the way around the car. Why do you need to see 360 degrees? Now, I get it. Sure, is it potentially useful to extract additional data as to what's to, potentially behind you or all around you and back? Sure. But realistically, you could probably use cameras for that. The biggest concern I have is when I'm sitting in the left lane on the highway and I got this thing on full self-driving, I want to know that I've got technology that's going to be able to evade a brick in the road or some plastic bag floating through the sky, that the car doesn't all of a sudden slam on the brakes and think it's a larger, heavier object that it's trying to avoid, and the guy behind me rear ends me, right? I'm really interested in as much detail as possible in terms of what is in front of me. That is the key focus. I always say, in my opinion, one of the safest places, and this is totally speculation, but in my opinion, one of the safest places to be in the highway is left lane and leaving your distance. Because really, the only thing you could screw up, unless somebody else hits you from out of nowhere, the only thing you could really screw up is hitting the guy in front of you. And again, I know there's so many other edge case scenarios here. I'm oversimplifying. But the point is, if Tesla's got no LiDAR, and you're gonna do LiDAR just in front, I like that decision. Boom. Nio has adopted exactly what I believed was the most important function for LiDAR. Looking forward, and then intelligence for their algorithm via this LiDAR collecting technology. Now, personally, I still think the day is going to come when Tesla adopts forward-facing LiDAR. I think it's going to come. Okay, I just installed this full self-driving chip in my Tesla. I took it for a little ride, and I'm like, yeah, you're still missing some stuff in front of you, bro. Okay, maybe I'm being overly critical here, but I like to be critical of the companies that have a vast majority of my money. Okay. So anyway, the frontal LiDAR, that makes me very excited. However, they said that they're partnering with a company called Innovision. I don't know. It's INNOVUSION. You can Google that. In fact, I encourage you to go to their website. Click around a little bit. This is the company that Nio is partnering with. They have an unsecure website, aka no HTTPS, which is just a little odd. It's so simple to do that these days. And their last news update is from their Falcon LiDAR system, which came on January 6, 2020. That was for CES in Vegas last year. That's a year ago. Now, who knows? Maybe they went quiet because they have a special deal with Nio, and you know, this was the big day. But let's just say when Microvision makes more noise than you, and Microvision doesn't have an automotive partner, it's potentially a problem. I don't know. Or maybe Microvision is just a noisy kid that doesn't matter. I don't know. It's totally a speculative play. So we'll have to pay attention to the development of this LiDAR partnership. I like where they're going with it. Little nervous about execution here. Don't know much about this company. All right, so that brings up the car. Yes. They announced their sedan, the ET7. We knew this was coming. They're going to price it between $69,000 and $81,000, depending on the model. And yeah, you could get 10 to 15% off if you just rent the battery system using the battery swapping system. I think I made like 4 videos on that in the last few days. So if you only want to see those stock videos, by the way, go to the stock playlist. It's linked down below. You could save that, bookmark that playlist if you want. That way you don't have to see all the other stuff. If you just want the stock stuff, just look at the stock playlist. All these videos go into the stock playlist. But anyway, apparently the ET7 will be available in early 2022. The car looks beautiful. It's similar in size to the Model S, but unfortunately, and again, I sound like such a party pooper here, I'm not impressed. Now, again, I don't want to sound like this dude that's overly negative here, but I don't also want to look at a company with rose-colored glasses going, oh my God, this is the best kid. This is a game changer. The ET7 is beautiful. It's a phenomenal luxury car, and it's going to destroy BMW and Mercedes, and I am excited about that. And that is ironic coming from somebody who was born in Germany. But when the car launches, it won't launch with the 625-mile range that they advertise, because the solid-state battery that gives them that range won't be available until the end of 2022. So the first people to take delivery of this vehicle will not get the range that's advertised, because, again, the battery doesn't exist yet. And even if the battery doesn't get delayed and the first batteries somehow start going out through battery swap stations at the end of 2022, let's just say if I were a Nio customer, I would get my hands on that battery and I would never swap again. So the battery would pretty quickly get taken out of the swap grid until battery production catches up. So that means the 625-mile range battery probably isn't going to be a reality until late 2023 or 4. Which is kind of where QuantumScape and Tesla think they're getting to scale with their fancy battery technology anyway. So really, this car feels a little bit like it's being highly prematurely announced. It somewhat feels like Nio Day was a justification for their meteoric price run and not something that, as a critical investor, actually kept me hooked. It kind of dissuades me a little bit. Now, to me, this with the car was a faux pas, mostly because they also didn't mention anything about their second sedan, which they have plans for. Now, hopefully, the second sedan would be a lower-priced vehicle, but I'm a bit bummed here because, see, Tesla has a sedan and this market in China almost entirely to itself. It's Model 3. The Model 3 costs $36,800. You could buy 2 Model 3s for the cost of one ET7, which doesn't exist yet. Elon also just cut the price of the Model Y to around $41,900, which is $10,000 less than the cheapest Nio, and you get your own battery with no monthly fees. See, because of this, Elon Musk, and no competition now to the Model 3, what we were expecting turned into Model S competition, which Model S sales are like, at Tesla. Let's be real. They have come back up. They kind of went, and then they're like, oh. But Elon Musk is going to dominate China before Nio gets their sedan on the road. I have no doubt about that now. Now, don't get me wrong. Nio is still going to do well with its 3 premium SUV lines, and the company will continue to grow. But introducing an expensive sedan that won't be readily available with its advertised range until well into 2023, with a battery supplying partnership that my expectation is Hyundai, Mercedes, BMW, and Tesla are going to get their hands on as well, does not make me very excited. Okay, fine. Let's then talk about the full self-driving Orin processor. Nio announced that they are partnering with NVIDIA to build their full self-driving platform, Aquila, whatever, on top of 4 NVIDIA Orin SoCs, which are systems on a chip. And they gave some impressive stats about how their cameras have a higher resolution, which, let's be real, I'm going to make a little side note here. I've talked to computer engineers about this. You don't necessarily want an insane amount of camera resolution because the processing requirements are insane. Now, in fairness to Nio, they did say that their module is going to be 7 times more powerful than Tesla's full self-driving chip, which that's good. But Tesla's full self-driving chip was launched in 2019. Now, I may have missed it, but I checked. They didn't really mention a launch date for their new hardware for full self-driving suite. Instead, they mentioned it'll be available as a monthly fee for $105, and they kind of implied that it would come with the ET7. All right, so basically the car would come in or this new full self-driving chip would be available in 2022. And just for comparison, that's a 3-year difference, which is kind of rough because that's kind of like comparing the speed of an iPhone 1 to skipping the iPhone 3G and going to the iPhone 4 and saying, look how much faster the iPhone 4 is compared to the iPhone 1. Of course the technology is going to be a lot better in 3 years. So that comparison's a little disingenuous as well. Okay, now, I'm sorry if I've taken some air out of the excitement that is Nio. I'm still excited. I'm still bullish somewhere inside me. But I have had a little bit of a struggle. I have had my ambitions capped a little bit for Nio here, and so what I'm doing is I am now revising my price targets. Previously, my price target was just buying Nio under 100 and buying it heavily, kind of where it is now, 60, 59, 60, no problem. It's a buy. I'm going to change this. I'm going to buy Nio heavily if it's under $50. Probably more like $45. If it happened to sell off and it fell under 45, I'd keep buying some Nio. And I'm okay nibbling on Nio, like buying Nio along with all the other stocks that I buy. As long as it's under 70, 65, I'm okay with that. So we're still within that range. But this actually just made me more bullish about Tesla, which is insane because y'all know I'm a Tesla bull as well, but I was also very much a Nio bull, and I still am. But my expectation now is that I need to revise my price targets for Tesla, and I'm willing to buy Tesla more heavily if it ever gets under 700 again, I'm willing to buy it under 700 much more heavily. And I'm willing to buy Tesla now. I'm going to revise up my previous buy under limit, which was 800. I said I will not buy Tesla under 800 anymore. I'm actually going to revise that up. And this sounds crazy, but I'm going to revise that up to $1,000. That is going to be my buy Tesla under target. And a lot of that has to do because of how substantially ahead Tesla clearly is. It just became readily apparent. And again, this is not bagging on the future of Nio. In my opinion, I think Nio's got a bright future. But as much as I wanted Nio to be, oh my gosh, Tesla's sitting at $867. Jeez, man. Sorry, I just looked at it and it's like, oh my gosh, it does feel expensive. But I stand by my targets, and as much as I wanted Nio to be that Android to Tesla's Apple, basically, I don't think we have an Android yet. Again, I've got a large position in Nio. I'm not going to sell. I expect volatility in this stock. That volatility should fade as Nio continues to impress on margin and deliveries. Let's just focus. Let's try not to get emotional about the Nio day. Let's focus on realistic targets here. We're still going to expect phenomenal delivery numbers. We're still going to expect phenomenal growth in margin. Their contract with subsidizing losses for JAC ends in April. There are plenty of reasons to still be excited about Nio, but my expectations have been dampened a bit. So those are my thoughts on Nio. Oh, wait. I have to say, I don't know if this is just to try to like play off Tesla or if this was just like, hey, look, we have another avenue to monetize. But, you know, the whole Nio Life thing, I get it. They're trying to create this lifestyle brand. It's nice. I'm sure the stuff's going to be high quality, and that's what their company exudes, right? Luxury and quality. I don't know if it really if it really belonged in the Nio Day presentation. I mean, I suppose it does, but it just seems like, you know, you walk into the Toyota car dealership and they have like the Toyota shirts and stuff that you can buy. It seems a little bit more like not something that really belonged in how big today should have been for Nio. So yeah, maybe I'm a little disappointed. I guess we'll just be transparent about that. Hopefully I don't come across as like a hater here. Again, I'm not shorting the stock. I'm not selling the stock, but I'm definitely revising my buy-in targets. So there you have it. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you found this helpful, subscribe, share the video with people that you think will find this helpful, and deposit $100 with M1 Finance. Go to metkevin.com/M1 and you get literally $30. $30 to go buy whatever you want. Fractional shares of any stock you want. You can go buy shares of Tesla Nio if you want. Thanks so much for watching, folks. We'll see you next time.